Hi, I'm William Tenholder. I've been playing for over 50 years and I've won thousands of games worldwide. And I don't play under my own name. I may be recognized by some of you out there as Music Man or Guitar Man. So, yeah, if you don't see my name out there, well, I prefer to just play under those names, various other names, and keep anonymous. But anyway, here is a nice game to learn from, and I'm going to proceed through this. I try to go quickly, and so we'll move on. And this is my usual ready opening, as you all may know by now. And they come out with a passive D pawn move, and that's setting up either the C or E pawn. So, yeah, my usual. I mean, if they're going passive, I'll pull out the two knights, and let's see what they bring. Okay, so this is, this is a modern line they're setting up, which next will be the E pawn. And so I'll just play my traditional E4. You can't go wrong with that. So they bring out the knight, and that's just development. Now I'm setting up. I'm always looking for a quick checkmate, as every advanced player will do. We're all going to look for the very fastest way to finish the game. So there's the E pawn coming out, which I was ready for that. I still have an attack, but it is fairly easily defended by the queen. So I decided not to go with the knight to G5 attack, or the sacrifice you can do too. So I looked at them. You can sacrifice the bishop on F7, and then the king has to take. Then you can come in with check with the knight, and then the queen can come in, and it could be over pretty quickly. But I decided to play it safe now. So I just defended because they have their own threats with the bishop at C1 right now, C8 right now. That bishop aligned with the knight. The knight can come out to G4. So I decided, well, be patient. And, there's nothing wrong with doing the H3, a little bit of defense. So they do the same. So they stop my offense with the H6 move. Well, it's a great time. It's a pause in the action. As I always say, if there's a pause in the action, go ahead and castle. Everything looks pretty safe. The queen comes out, and this is what the queen was planning to do anyway, if I did any of the F7 shenanigans. So this is the move that the intermediate and advanced players are going to pull out. This is a queenside attack. So they're getting ready for that. And they push out their pawn. We'll move along quickly here. This is the way you keep your queenside attack going. Just push that pawn as far as you can. Well, they were onto it and they stopped it. But that also sets up the A4 move, and that will come in at the right time. So we're just setting up the position here. Bishop had to make a decision here to either come in to protect the king or to be more active, I think, along that file, that white file. There are opportunities there, and there's also opportunity for the queenside attack with the bishop there. So let's see how it plays out. The bishop doesn't like my bishop there, so The black bishop comes out to e6 to attack. And so I continue with my queenside offensive. And the queen comes in to be ready. If I take pawn, then the queen's looking maybe to do something. I'm not sure what they can do, but I decided to solidify my position and free up the bishop so that rook and queen can coordinate together. In fact, the two rooks and the queen can all coordinate once the bishop is out of there. So now they come into the center, and they are looking to open things up. They've got some ideas, some plans. So I take, and I know they're going to take, and I'm all for opening up the center. I'm ready for it. So my knight takes, bishop takes knight. So we're kind of clearing up the center here and get ready for action. We're both ready to bring it on. So I bring out my black bishop. This coordinates the rooks and the queen. And it's actually disguised attack. So in case you didn't see it right away, this is an attack on the queen. And I was hoping they didn't see it. Sometimes they don't. Queen moves. Good for them. So now the next thing is to get rid of that bishop because that bishop's in the way of my plans. I have an attack planned here, and we're going to see how that unfolds. So pawn takes bishop, and this allows me to bring in my knight for an attack. The pawn was up for grabs. Just had to get rid of that bishop so I could get on with my attack. So queen comes in, and I'm just kind of licking my lips here. I'm thinking this has queen pinned on the king written all over it. So what do? X-ray attack. And that's what this is all about. This is what is winning the game right here, the X-ray attack. Two pieces in the way, and they don't realize how fast this can turn on them. Two pieces in the way, and the queen is pinned on the king. Watch how this goes so quickly here. So they bring in the knight. I bring back my knight and invite them to bring their knight in because I still can make this pin happen. And they decide to attack on the king side. Boom. Just like that. I mean, just like in the blink of an eye, you've got the queen pinned on the king. This is winning for white. Of course, it's winning for white. The queen is toast. So now what to do, right? Sure, you've won the queen. Yes, they're going to get the rook. So it's just a queen for a rook, really. You still have to win the game. So you continue on, and that was the beauty of my bishop move, is I had the rook lined up. So yeah, I also got the rook exchange, the queen exchange, and the rook exchange, and rook is stuck there in the corner. So now we're looking at a fairly easy game, but you still have to play to win. So I'll bring this on pretty quickly. Of course, right away, the whole plan was the pawn takes pawn. Pawn has to take pawn. We're going up the A file. And this is, as they say, elementary, my dear Watson. They bring in the bishop. Check on the king. They do have a defender. We bring the queen onto the triple threat. It's attacking the bishop, the pawn, and X-ray attack on the knight. So this is the way you win, right? So far we've seen the pin and a couple of X-ray attacks. This is how you win games. The bishop moves and protects the knight. The queen takes the pawn. And yeah, there's some serious pressure on here. But you still have to figure out, how am I going to get this done? Well, let's see how we do it. So the king moves over. And look at that. It's just a simple exchange, right? Take. And so even if we're exchanging down, we're still way ahead, because now it's another X-ray attack on the king and the rook. And let's see how that goes. Obviously, the king has to move. Queen takes rook, has that beautiful black diagonal to move along. And so it goes pretty quickly here. We do a little dance here. We do a little dance, but it's over. It's about maintaining the king into that, just keeping the king corralled. And the king tries to run away, hoping for a stalemate, really. And then hoping for something here. The pawn takes pawn. And then there's another little dance here. We don't want a stalemate. We don't want a draw here, because we've got a totally winning game. So we have to be careful with the queens, that we do not, at this point, if the king doesn't have a move, it's going to be a stalemate, right? So we have to make sure the king always has a place to move to. Now, this is the position where you could easily get the Triple Crown. And the way you get the Triple Crown, I've never done it, and I could have done it, and probably on this one. But the way you get the Triple Crown is that you would actually move your queen onto the B file, then promote your pawn. Your pawn gets to C8, and you've got 3 queens on the board. Then you move your third queen to A6 for checkmate. And in that position, you would have the Triple Crown. You'd have the 3 queens. A queen on C8, a queen on B7, and for the checkmate on A6 would be the Triple Crown. I thought about it after. I thought, boy, never done one of those. Would have been nice. So that's the game here. Of course, I simply ended the game with a checkmate. That's the proper thing to do. Just finish off the game. But can you see the Triple Crown? If you just advance your pawn up to C8, you've got the 3 queens, you've got the Triple Crown. Try it someday. I hope you enjoyed this game. It was a challenge in the beginning. It got easier after I, pulled off a few pins and needles. So enjoy your chess. Good luck out there. Win lots of games.